Alright guys, welcome back to the Stanley Parable. This is episode 2. Last time we made a huge mess of things, got lost, got the confusion ending, followed the yellow line. It was crazy. But now we're back, and we're on the right track. We're doing exactly what the narrator says, because otherwise this thing just goes tits up. So,
I'm sorry, what?
Tits up. And so, what we're going to do is we're going to resume the game. We're in the basement. We're gaining a sense of free will, and we're going to find out what's going on.
Doesn't even make sense.
Makes perfect sense.
All right.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control
Yeah, we're about
Facility.
to lose. Look, escape!
Do we do exactly what he says?
I don't know!
I don't either. I'm going to escape.
Although this passageway had the word escape written on it, the truth was that at the end of this hall, Stanley would meet his violent death.
I don't believe you. I don't believe the narrator.
The door behind him was not shut. Stanley still had every opportunity to turn around and get back on track.
No.
At this point, Stanley was making a conscious, concerted effort to walk forward and willingly confront his death.
I just want to see how you're going to do it. Yeah, incinerate me. Just walk into the hole.
We just
fucking do it.
Godspeed, Stanley.
Ah!
Good scream there at the end. And we died. 1 minute. We've reached another ending, and that ending was death. Unpleasant, disgusting death. Or not.
Oh. Yeah, I think we may have died.
No, we fell into a
As the
minecart.
machine whirred into motion and Stanley was inched closer and closer
Oh.
to his demise,
Yeah, that is
he
death.
reflected that his life had been of no consequence whatsoever.
None whatsoever.
Stanley can't see the bigger picture. He doesn't know the real story, trapped forever in his narrow vision of what this world is. Perhaps his death was of no great loss, like plucking the eyeballs from a blind man.
Perhaps.
So he
Can you jump to
resigned
that?
and willingly
jumps.
accepted this violent end to his brief and shallow life. Farewell, Stanley.
I don't want to die. I've made a horrible mistake.
"Farewell, Stanley," cried the narrator, as Stanley was led helplessly into the enormous metal jaws. In a single visceral instant, Stanley was obliterated as the machine crushed every bone in his body, killing him instantly.
What?
And yet it would be just a few minutes before Stanley would restart the game, back in his office, as alive as ever. What exactly did the narrator think he was going to accomplish?
What?
When every path you can walk has been created for you long in advance, death becomes meaningless, making life the same. Do you see now? Do you see that Stanley was already dead from the moment he hit start?
Oh, it's like a little...
It's a museum to Stanley.
It is. Nature paintings. Office layout. Estimating the game, the path from Stanley's office to the two doors was the first part of the game that was built. Sections have been added and altered throughout development through the core layout and remains almost identical to the first iteration. So there's your office. This is where you walk through. Some various doors. Is that what they're called? The office. Various doors. The two doors. Very first concrete piece. So the room was created, the rest of the game emerges as an extension of it. Exploration of the contradiction this room posed. I guess this is the director's cut. On cabinets. Office computers. Turn them all off. Button sounds.
Push that shit. I like how the game was like, I wasn't even trying to tell you I'm not wasting your time. I'm just gonna make you pay for...
You're dead. There's some credits. That's pretty cool. What's over here? A big Stanley Parable Museum. The office. Yeah, I remember that elevator. I took it when things went horribly awry. Worst. Words, words, words. The point of the Stanley Parable HD Remix is to lose, or is to win. Your screenshots of the Stanley Parable. This is a big old place. Early in development, we designed an ending where Stanley would end up on a battlefield fighting aliens. Sentient will wage war against the narrator. Shortly after starting to build it, it was far too jokey and on the nose. Plus, some people interpreted it as making fun of people who like shooters, which is not our intention. Alien base.
You paid $10 for this game?
Hey, this is only one of the many endings. This is like crazy that you get sort of the director's cut here. Maybe this whole episode is just us seeing the director's cut.
Are you trying to say that we actually won?
Are these? What are these? Narrator emails. After the second trailer we sent out, we asked people to email the narrator for questions. While we initially planned to use these in further promotional materials, we never found the perfect use for them. Here's a selection of those emails. Alright. I'm not going to watch them all, but there's you some emails. Sent from my iPad, of course. The lounge. Oh, over here. This is all really interesting, but a bizarre time to get the director's cut ending when we haven't even gotten to the right ending. So maybe this is too spoilery. I don't know.
Oh, look, disobey, obey, lounge.
Yeah. We definitely disobeyed. And then we obeyed. And then we wound up here. I should obey more. That's the lesson I'm learning from this game.
And in life.
Indeed. Sending model.
We don't even know what that means.
Nope. Zending levers? I guess there's a correct ending. Perhaps that's the zending. I don't know. Game is now paused. God, there's so much here. Alright, guys. I can only run around in this museum so long before I need to advance the storyline. So that's what we're going to do. But you've seen the steps. If you play the game for yourself, you can get the director's cut ending. Is this where we came in?
Oh, look at these two. How they wish to destroy one another. How they wish to control one another. How they both wish to be free.
Does she know there's two of us?
I don't know.
Oh my god.
Can you see? Can you see how much they need one another? No, perhaps not. Sometimes these things cannot be seen.
Or unseen.
But listen to me. You can still save these two. You can stop the program before they both fail. Push escape and press quit. There's no other way to beat this game. As long as you move forward, you'll be walking someone else's path. Stop now and it'll be your only true
This
choice.
is super meta.
Whatever you do, choose it. Don't let time choose for you. Don't let time.
And we're dead.
I mean, escape would have just taken you to the menu.
Yeah. I assume this will, too.
I don't know, man. You tanked the game. All she asked was for you to hit escape.
Game is not paused. I think it just sits here with no exit. It's just blackness.
I think we have to make our own entertainment.
Alright. Entertainment. Let's quit to menu, I guess.
No.
I mean, there's nothing going on, right?
I mean, there's gonna be. They're
Nope.
not just gonna leave you hanging.
I think they might just... This is the kind of game that'll just leave you hanging. I say we quit the menu. I'm doing it. Begin the game again?
Sure.
Okay.
The end is never the end. It makes sense now.
The end is never the end. So we're getting a pretty long load screen here. I'm just going to sprint to the right choices to get us back to where we started the episode. Let's just run.
All of his co-workers were gone.
Shut it.
What could it mean?
Just running.
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps
Perhaps
he
he
had
missed
simply
a memo.
A memo. Perhaps we'll cut this part out, because we've all seen it before.
Nah, you can't do that.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
You're damn right he did. Because he does not want to upset the balance
He's in the
anymore.
Yet there
Meeting
was not a
room.
single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office. Hoping him coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Speed playing!
Yes. Can't remember the code. 2856?
It's gonna tell
Stepping
it to
into
you
his
again.
manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. What could it mean? Stanley wondered aloud.
I think it was a
to
4.
nobody.
2456?
He began
2846.
wildly tearing through papers on the boss's desk, pulling books off the shelf, looking behind paintings, desperate for clues to his situation. But his attention was caught by a keypad behind the boss's desk.
What's the difference?
What could its purpose be? In fact, this keypad guarded the terrible secret that lay buried below his feet. Stanley was in such a rush to get through the story as quickly as possible, he didn't even have a single minute to just let the narrator talk.
Owned.
That kind of anxiety isn't healthy, so he relaxed for a few moments with some calming new age music.
Owned.
God, even
Yeah.
when this game, it's like it knows my soul. I have a rest then.
Feeling soothed and rejuvenated, Stanley calmly walked forward into the opened passageway.
I am feeling rejuvenated. We're just gonna go get mind controlled. It's over there.
You didn't tell me what to do.
Must stop getting distracted. Must play game the right way. So the downside here is like, I have no idea when we'll beat the game. If
The end is never the end.
there's just never endings. So when do we stop the Let's Play? Never.
I think when people choose to stop watching us play the game.
So
Stanley walked straight
Episode
ahead through
2
the
then.
large door that read Mind Control Facility.
yeah, he did. Control my mind. Just take it.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength?
I remember that balcony. Yeah, we got the strength to find out.
Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing.
I think they call that grad school.
I think they call it the NSA. Oh.
This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time?
Pretty sure you have,
Was this the only
Stano.
reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly?
Let's take a ride.
He refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never. It was unthinkable. Wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world? But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy, or sad, or content. Walking, eating, working. All of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible
Smash
power
it!
over another human life. For he would dismantle the controls once and for all.
What's that do?
You hear that, man?
Guess I can't. There's a switch over there. I think it turns it back on. I don't want to turn it back on though. I'm gonna dismantle the controls. Maybe some other body can play this game and turn it on. Hey, what's this?
Getting the button push sounds.
Pushed it 5 times, doesn't happen. Mind controls idle. You can put.
Ow.
And when at last he found the source of the room's power, he knew it was his duty, his obligation, to put an end to this horrible place and to everything it stood for.
Turn it on!
You want to be mind controlled?
I don't know.
I'm a turn it off.
Now Stanley can't think.
Now Stanley's in the dark. Perhaps Stanley made a terrible mistake.
Flat Stanley!
And a rising chill of uncertainty. Was it over?
No.
Yes. He had won.
You never
He had
win.
defeated the machine, unshackled himself from someone else's command. Freedom was mere moments away.
Run, Stanley!
Even as the immense door slowly opened, Stanley reflected on how many puzzles still lay unsolved. Where had his co-workers gone? How had he been freed from the machine's grasp? What other mysteries did this strange building hold? But as sunlight streamed into the chamber, he realized none of this mattered to him, for it was not knowledge or even power that he had been seeking, but happiness. Perhaps his goal had not been to understand, but to let go. No longer would anyone tell him where to go, what to do, or how to feel. Whatever life he lives, it will be his. And that was all he needed to know.
That's lovely.
It was perhaps
It is.
the only thing worth
It's gonna be a
knowing.
mural.
Stanley stepped through the open door.
Oh.
Stanley felt the cool breeze upon his skin, the feeling of liberation, the immense possibility of the new path
This is a beautiful
before
scene.
him.
Yeah.
This was exactly the way, right now, that things were meant to happen.
T-Rex?
And Stanley was happy.
So I guess that was the happy ending,
I don't really know, man.
but the end is never the end. Never the end. Okay. Yeah. So achievement unlocked, beat the game. Okay, so we hit the happy ending. What do you want to do? I think we're just gonna let it be a short episode. 18 minutes. We hit a happy ending. We've seen some good stuff. I think we'll come back next time, maybe, and just, mess around and break stuff and see what happens and get a glimpse of what that's like. There's no way we're going to sit around and play every single ending. It's just too much, and that would leave nothing for you guys to do. So, come back for another episode, maybe 2, and we'll see what else is going on. So, see you guys next time.
Thanks, guys.